We have 2 weeks left in the NFL season, and that includes, of course, the playoffs coming in a couple weeks.
It's coming, yeah.
And that means that the holidays are coming. The theme of the show today is the holidays, and we will not be with you for the next couple weeks. So what we're going to do for you today is we're going to come up with our own playoff projections here, and, we can. I'll actually hand the floor to you first, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to go division by division. You could throw out some teams to talk about, but who do you think's going to the playoffs?
All right, so we got 2 weeks left, right? And right now, let's do the AFC for now. AFC, the picture is you got the Chiefs at the 1 seed, right? They're leading the AFC West. They still got the division locked down, even though they lost to the Chargers this past week. You got the number 2 seed, which is the Texans, who actually started off 0-4 and have won 10 straight to be 10-4. So this is a really hot team coming in. You got in the East, you have the Patriots, who are 9-5, and you got the North, which is right now the Steelers at 8-6-1. They're tie. So
which has messed everything up.
Yeah, messed everything up for all those.
Do you guys believe that the Steelers are going to hold the division over the Ravens?
I do not. Do you?
Oh, really? I think they will.
You think they're going to hold it down?
Why not?
Yeah, I mean they could. My thing with this is that I think that the Ravens are going to end up taking that division. I think all the other divisions stay the same. Ravens take their division because the Ravens, they have one big match coming up. They're going to play the Chargers next, but they're playing at home, I believe. So I think they win that game. I think they beat the Chargers. They played the Chiefs tough. They almost beat the Chiefs in overtime. They lost 27-24, I believe, something like that, or 23, whatever. And I think that the Ravens are going to overtake and go 10-6. I think they're going to win the last 2 games because they have an easy matchup as well. Steelers haven't been as good. The Steelers have lost to Oakland recently. They barely beat New England at home recently, and they're horrible on the road.
They lost 3 straight, the Steelers. Yeah,
they lost 3 straight before beating the Patriots,
yesterday.
right?
But that was a gritty win against the Patriots, and you got to wonder with the Patriots, speaking to them, it's the first time Tom Brady is not going to have a bye week heading in since 2009.
If the Texans hold the 2nd seed.
How much does his age play into that?
Mm-hmm.
Does he need that extra week of rest?
He probably does. I mean,
wait.
He is.
When was the last time he?
2009 was the last time he didn't have a bye week.
Jesus.
Heading into the playoffs. That's impressive.
Poor NFC East.
Poor 40-year-old man.
Well, poor NFC East. I mean, the Jets,
41.
the Bills, and the Dolphins have no chance ever.
No.
Never.
Don't give me poor AFC East because it's terrible AFC East.
Yeah.
The Patriots. I mean, they would probably win good divisions anyway, but those teams have all stunk constantly. So
they don't really give them enough competition to overtake it. And this year was the year to do it.
Tyrod Taylor is going to come back to the Bills and make the
take
Bills
over.
great again.
You know what?
No
So
Josh Allen?
let me throw the NFC to you. Actually,
All right.
Who do you think's going to the playoffs in the NFC?
No one from the NFC East should be in the playoffs. It's been abysmal, but the Cowboys will win the division, I think. The Eagles still sitting on the bubble. They still have a shot. I don't think it's going to happen. You know, you got the Bears sitting out there. They clinched their division.
Do you believe in Trubisky?
I mean, from everything he's shown me, yeah, but I need to see more of it.
Yeah.
I need to see more. There's not a big enough sample size for me, and everything shakes out in the playoffs.
Well, I'm asking you to project here. Because we hear sample size all the time, and I want to say,
I think the Bears can win a playoff game. Mm-hmm. That's about it. That's as far as they go.
Okay.
As far as they go.
What do you think?
So I think the Bears go a little further. Like, I'll tell you right now, I think that the NFC Championship will be the Bears being the 3 seed. I think in the first round they're going to end up playing Seattle and beating them at home, Chicago. So they'll beat Seattle. It's going to be a tough match, but I think their defense is by far the best in the NFL, and I think that's going to carry them a long ways. And I think Trubisky is real. I think he's going to make major mistakes in the playoffs at times, but I think the defense is good enough to carry them a little bit and help the offense out and put them in great position to have easy scores.
They would probably go to LA to play the Rams because the Saints are, even though they're 1 game in the standings ahead of the Rams, they're really 2 games because they beat the Rams.
Right.
So they're probably 90% right now. The Rams have the 2 seed. So can the Bears beat the Rams?
Well, that's what.
Can they beat the Rams in LA? What do you think?
I think the Rams' defense is good enough to make Trubisky make those mistakes. He's a young quarterback. Mm-hmm. I tend to believe that experience is the ultimate X factor. Mm-hmm. The more you're put in those positions in the playoffs, the more you have a quarterback who, I mean, let's face it, a guy like Tom Brady we referred to before has been there so many times. You can rely on him I'm not talking about this year, but
Yeah.
you can feel comfortable there. With Trubisky, you never know. You have to
Right.
rely more on your defense, and the longer that that offense of the Rams keeps that defense on the field, it puts more stress on Trubisky.
Right.
I will say Trubisky has actually surprised me this year.
Yeah,
constantly.
me too.
I do a little gambling, just a little, and I
Mm-hmm.
can't tell you how many teasers I put against the Bears.
Uh-huh.
And every damn time Trubisky's coming down, scoring a touchdown. Where is
Yeah.
this coming from? So I'm not saying I believe in Trubisky.
But you're on board a
I
little
think
bit?
I think it'll be a second round knockout. for
Knockout.
them, yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think that the Bears go a little further than that. I think, like you said, the Saints, I think, are the 1 seed no matter what. I think they both go 11 and 12 and 4, I believe, or 13 and 3. Both the Saints and Rams are going to go 13-3, but the Saints are going to be the 1 seed. So what's going to happen is I think that the Bears are going to end up playing the Rams as the 3 versus 2, and I think that the Saints will end up playing the Vikings.
Yeah.
I think the Vikings beat Dallas in Dallas. And the Vikings, I think, are going to be the 5 seed, not the 6. I think the Vikings actually surpass Seattle. Seattle's the 5 right now. So I think that the Vikings make it to another round. But I think it ends there. I think the Vikings, when they go to New Orleans, I think that's too much to overcome. They lose to the Saints because the Saints got the experience and everything else. Their defense is playing better. And then I think here's a surprise. The Bears beat the Rams. I think the Bears already beat the Rams
Fair
at
enough.
home. But even on the road, I don't think Goff had another one. Without the experience, he doesn't have the experience in the playoffs. He doesn't have the experience, overall in his career. He's a young quarterback, and we've seen him make tons of mistakes. Even against Philadelphia recently, the last game we saw, he threw a couple of huge picks in the third quarter that pretty much, blew the game for
He's
them.
been playing terrible the last
And with
Yeah.
that Bears defense putting pressure on him.
Right. The pressure from that, and I think Trubisky doesn't have to do too much. I think he can just play it safe. He's got a lot of weapons to work with. Allen Robinson, this guy, Tariq Cohen, Jordan Howard, Taylor Gabriel. They have a lot of good weapons. All he has to do is be smart with the ball. So I think it's Bears, Saints in the championship, and I'm actually going to say that the Bears beat the Saints in New Orleans in a huge upset, and it's going to be one big defensive play that cost the Saints the game, a fumble or a turnover. I think they get a defensive touchdown, the Bears, and it brings them to the Super Bowl. But I think that's where it ends.
Real quick, I want both of your 4 wild card teams because we've agreed who's gonna win the division. So real quick, your 4 wild card teams, AFC and NFC.
NFC, I told you, was the Vikings and Seahawks. In the AFC, I have the Chargers, of course, so the 5 seed, and the 6 is going to be the Titans, I think.
Titans take over the Colts and the Ravens.
Right.
What do you have?
No,
the Ravens win the division.
Steelers and Ravens, because I'm picking Pittsburgh to win the division, and I got to agree with the Seahawks and the Vikings.
Go Bridgeside.